Tucson author Margaret Regan has recently released a new book entitled Detained and Deported, and will be speaking on the NAU campus this evening at 7 p.m. Earlier today, I spoke with Regan about her story and her work with immigrant families. Hi, I'm here with Tucson journalist Margaret Regan. She just came out with a new book, Detained and Deported. Tell me more about it.
Well, the subtitle of this book is Stories of Immigrant Families Under Fire, and that's exactly what it's about. It's about immigrants undocumented immigrants who have lived in the United States a long time, have established lives, and they have children, many of them U.S. citizen children. They suddenly get caught by the police or the Border Patrol or ICE, picked up and sent to the detention centers. Or they might get sent over the border to Nogales in deportation proceedings. So it's about the heartbreak of families getting separated by these legal proceedings.
Okay. So I hear the Latin American Studies is hosting a little discussion for you on NAU campus. Tell me more about the whereabouts.
It's in the Liberal Arts Building, which is in room 120. And I'm going to be giving a talk with slides of some of the people I interviewed, and then we'll have a discussion session and a book signing.
Okay. Do you want to share a specific example of a family that you've worked with in the past?
Well, one of the most heartbreaking stories that I tell in the book is of a woman who was a good mom living in Phoenix. She had a job, she had two kids, 15-year-old and a 3-year-old, and she was caught and immediately sent into deportation proceedings, and she had no one to care for the kids. So she had to sign them over to CPS, and she lost those children. They were sent into a group home, the children were separated, group home and a foster family, and the mom was sent down over the border into Nogales without them.
Okay. So tell me more about your involvement with the immigration rights.
Well, I write for the Tucson Weekly, and I started writing about the migrant deaths in the desert way back in the year 2000 when we first started seeing large numbers of deaths. And ever since then, I've written quite a few stories about that. My first book was about the deaths in the desert, called The Death of Jocelyn. So this book is kind of a sequel to that. This is a book about the people who get here, but who get caught up in proceedings years later.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Margaret.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.